I never know how to refer to myself. I think the creator of Anukari, the founder of Anukari sounds like weird. What am I?
Whatever feels most natural for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, none of it. So you've downloaded a 3D physics synthesizer onto your computer. Not everybody does that. And unlike something more familiar to you, like a turbo encabulator.
The turbo encabulator, produced by the modal interaction of capacitive directance.
You may not yet know how to use Anukari. I'm Evan, the creator of Anukari, and I'm here today to walk you through the basics, show you the ropes, and get you having fun with Anukari as soon as possible. Anukari is a physical modeling synth and effects processor based on the idea of a 3D physics simulation. Sort of like a video game, but applied to audio. You can create virtual instruments out of objects in 3D space like masses and springs. You can interact with those via mallets and bows, and you pick up the sound using virtual microphones. When you first look at Anukari, it might be a little bit intimidating. But the way I think about Anukari fundamentally is just about playing around, exploring, and discovering interesting stuff you can do. So let's just try and make a really simple edit and see what happens. Here I have the default starting preset. I'm going to drag in a body object. I'm going to connect it to this other one with a spring. Let's hear how that sounds. I don't know about you, but that is not what I expected at all the first time I did that. I didn't have to know what any of the parameters were. I didn't have to know all the details about what's going on. There's a playful and tactile approach that you can take to it and then learn all the details later. Once you've got Anukari running, there's a few different ways to get started and make sound with it. First way is if you have a MIDI keyboard attached, you can play notes on the MIDI keyboard. There's also an on-screen MIDI keyboard. And you can also press the keys on your computer keyboard. Maybe the most fun way to play with it is to make sound by just using the mouse and grabbing the 3D instrument. Okay, so let's start with a completely blank Anukari preset and get something making sound from scratch. So the first thing I'm going to drag in is a body. I know I need one of those to produce vibration and get sound. I think I probably also need a mallet. One really important concept in Anukari is that anything that's going to interact has to be connected to the thing it interacts with. So in this case, I can press keys on the keyboard. That mallet's moving, but it's not connected to anything, so it's not going to interact with anything. So I'm going to go down to the object palette. I'm going to drag in this connection. I'm going to drop it on the mallet, and I'm going to connect it to the body object. Let's see what happens when I press a note on the keyboard. Uh-oh. Something's gone wrong. Well, what happened there? The body object wasn't tied down to anything. We hit it with a mallet and it shot off into space somewhere to infinity.
And beyond!
So that's not really what we want. Okay, so let's start over. Bring in that body object, bring in a mallet, let's connect them. But now we want to prevent that body from flying off into space. We need what's called an anchor object. So while the body objects are free to vibrate, move, do whatever physics dictates, anchors are tied down in place and they can't move. Now remember, for two things in Anukari to interact, somehow they have to be connected. In this case, we're going to connect the anchor to that body with a spring. So now if I press a note on the keyboard, this is what happens. Okay, so the body didn't fly off into outer space. It's kind of contained, it's got a spring that's tying it down, but for some reason we're not hearing anything. In Anukari, to get sound, you have to pick that sound up with a virtual microphone. So let's drag in a mic object. Again, we need a connection. And the mic object is going to be connected to the freely moving body because that's the part of the system that vibrates and produces sound. So let's hear what happens now if I press a button on the keyboard. Getting some kind of interesting sound. You notice the sound's a little bit chaotic because the body is tied down with just one spring. It's flying all over the place. So if we want to control the movement of that body a little bit more, we could bring in another anchor. We could connect that anchor to the body with a spring. And maybe I'll drag this anchor a little bit, stretch it out, get some tension. So those are the basic principles of building a preset from scratch in Anukari. And all of the other objects in the object palette are other things that we can use to interact with that physics system and get different kinds of sounds. We dragged in a mallet, which gives a sort of percussive energy into the system. But there are oscillators, which are sort of like traditional analog synth oscillators. There's a bow, a plectrum, which is more of a pluck. And there's the audio input, which can be used to inject an audio signal into Anukari as a force. So you could run vocals through Anukari, run your guitar through Anukari, any kind of audio signal. One other thing I really like to get people started on early is in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, there are macros, and these change the characteristics of the sound. I have to figure out how to explain macros. Every preset has a couple of macros, and they're knobs that you can turn to change how the preset sounds. So on this preset, those macros, if you have a MIDI keyboard, will usually be bound to the knobs on your keyboard, but you can also move them with the mouse. So I hope that eventually you're gonna have a lot of fun building your own Anukari presets, constructing stuff from scratch, exploring what's possible. But the easiest way to get started using Anukari is to start by playing with some of the built-in factory presets. There's over 200 factory presets that come with Anukari, and the preset browser is in the upper right-hand corner here. Here we can look at the different categories of preset, and then within each category, we can look at the different presets in that category. So you don't need to build anything to have fun. You can jump right into the presets and start enjoying them. And if you do eventually want to build stuff, looking at the factory presets is the best way to get started anyway. Except I said that weird. I hope that this has been helpful in getting you started and being able to explore yourself. And no. Oh man. Obviously, there's a lot more depth that we haven't talked about. And if you want to learn more about that, come visit our YouTube channel where I'm going to be constantly posting more content and tutorials about how to use it. But for now, just go mess around and have fun.